What's up, everyone? Aaron Schatz here, Editor-in-Chief of ASE Publishing, and today we've got another review for you. This time it's the HyperX Cloud Alpha Pro Gaming Headset. This is review ID 61753. You can check out this and all our reviews by going to www.aselabs.com. However, I will save you the trouble right now because you're probably watching this on YouTube. What you have to do is there's a big red subscribe button. Hit that to be informed of all of video content as we post them. That's all we do these days, so you'll be in the know. And if you don't have time to watch our full-length reviews, which are quite in-depth and quite long, you can always check out the 1-minute reviews that we do on the majority of reviews. There will be a link in the description below. It's 1 minute, condensed, so if you don't have time to watch the full review, you can watch the 1-minute review. Gives you an overview, basically. Doesn't give you the full in-depth thing, but come back, watch the full review. If you don't even have time for that, or you're in an environment where you can't watch a video, check out the text summary. In the description below, there's a link to ASE Labs. There's a text summary, good to go. Again, come back and watch the full review, which this is, so let's get into this. If you haven't seen the unboxing, I'm going to save you the trouble because this is a full review. I'm going to show you right now. You get the headset itself right here. This is the Cloud Alpha. As you can see, the microphone is removable. The cable is removable. This is actually a headset cable, which means the audio is microphone and stereo headset in one cable. And this is actually good because the actual part that plugs into the headset directly has the volume controls and the mute functionality built right into here. You also get a breakout if you need individual connections for microphone and headphone jack right here. So in case you have like a regular computer that doesn't have a headset jack, here's your microphone, here's your stereo headset jack. There you go. So basically that plugs into here. 3.5mm, standard stuff. Get a carrying case. Ooh, fancy HyperX right there. And you get some literature. And that's basically what's in the box. Let's take a trip around memory lane. So basically, if you look at this headset, it's very reminiscent of the Cloud 2 line from HyperX. That's actually quite different than the latest lines, the Cloud Revolver and the Cloud Stinger, if you remember those. So this is like the mid-market, and the Revolver was the high-end, and the Stinger was the lower-end, even though I like the Stinger for portability and stuff because the cup's folded and such. But this is actually pretty unique because they wanted to redo this because a lot of people like the feel of this headset. And I was actually really skeptical when I actually saw this the first time. I said, why would you make this product again when the Revolver actually fits really well? Well, when I got this sent to me and I tried it out, I was like, okay, I get it. So basically, when you put these on your head, it actually feels really comfortable. They did a lot of work in actually getting this to fit on your head really nicely. One of the important parts about a gaming headset is how long you can use it while it's on. Because let's face it, if you're doing long gaming sessions, the worst thing you want is the headset to be uncomfortable after long periods of time. I've used this headset for a while. I compared it with the Cloud Revolver. I compared it with the other headsets that I have from other companies and stuff. This is pretty comfortable. That being said, the majority of headsets that I've used these days are relatively comfortable. They're all like, it's a lot of personal preference. And obviously when you're dealing with things like input devices or things that you're using, touching your body and stuff, everything is pretty personal, pretty subjective, but I actually find these to be pretty comfortable, which is actually really shocking because I found the Revolver, I thought the Revolvers were like pretty spectacular in that regard too, with the springy top and stuff. But whatever they did to this actually works really well. I'm actually pretty surprised, and I actually do think it's a worthwhile upgrade from the Cloud 2. I mean, we're going to save all that to the end, but you know, right off the bat, I can tell you that I was actually pretty impressed with the upgrades that they've actually done. Now, let's finally take a closer look at the Cloud Alpha. So on the top, you can see a nice little branded HyperX logo up here. The bottom, where your actual head sits on here, you've got nice foam padding and stuff. Most of this is, you know, leather type of material that touches your body. I'm sure it's not actual leather, but it's got the feel of leather. That's the majority of stuff. Everywhere else is pretty much rubberized. It feels like a quality product. These are metal right here. All this red right here is metal. The cups themselves articulate, and they articulate this way and that way and swivel. So basically, you've got a bunch of positions to actually put this. So if your head size is relatively large, extend them out. I mean, this is going to be pretty crazy for me. And, I mean, you can see how far they can go down on my head, but once you get them on, you basically just lock them in place to where they feel comfortable, where they're resting. You don't want it to be too tight, you just want it to be on there. If your head's a little misshapen, hey, some people's got misshapen heads, that's how you go. They'll actually swivel a little bit to actually snugly fit on your head. And that's what you want, because while these are not noise canceling, because they fit so snugly around your ear, and remember these are over ear, they will block out some sound. They will block out more sound than you would think that a passive set of headphones would. But they actually do, and they work really well with that. Moving over to the bottom right here, you have the headset and microphone jacks. So if you look on the sides right here, I know you can't see that, but they're the L and R. So this side is R and this side is L, so let me hold it that way for you. Basically, on the L side is where the microphone and headset jacks are. So I will show you how both of those work. So basically, the microphone is removable, and there's no built-in mic. So if you do take this off, you have no mic. And once it's on your head, you can adjust the mic wherever you want. It's that nice, totally adjustable type of microphone. That also means that you need the headset jack. And if we look at the headset jack itself, that I have some plastic on, should have taken that off. If you look at the headset jack itself, you could see that the actual cable has the controls built in the headset jack part. So while the controls are not built onto the headset like the Stinger has, at least the controls are built into the part where you are forced to use this at least. And what I mean by forced to is because on the Revolver line, the controls were not on the headset jack part. So while you are forced to plug this into here to actually use these, the breakout cable actually had the controls, which I thought was a really missed opportunity. So I'm glad to see that the controls are finally on the part where you have to use it to plug it in. So you have the mute control and the audio volume control. So if you're using this on a cell phone, for instance, once you plug this in here, you still get inline controls. Very helpful stuff. And once it's plugged in, you basically get to just put them on your head and start using them. Like I said, you can plug this right into your phone, use it just like that. Plug this into the breakout cable. And by the way, the cables are all braided, which is really nice because they'll slide all over the place. Of course, sometimes you get it all tied up and stuff. So if you have a regular computer, like I do, you have the breakouts for the actual stereo and microphone. So remember, red is input, green is output. Output meaning audio to your ears, and then this is audio in, microphone. And you can see that the cable is very, very long. So it's got about 6 feet or so extra length, and this is like 3 feet or so, well, maybe a little over, probably 3 meters or so. And it gives you plenty of length. So if you had your plug this into your cell phone, you have plenty of room to move around and articulate. I understand the need for a detachable headset jack. It's clunky, you can get in the way, you can separate it, not worry about breaking anything. You could even replace this entire cable if you wanted to with a different one, because this is standard stuff. It's basically a 3-pole, 3.5 millimeter cable. So if you wanted to have a different one, have at it. That being said, the microphone itself is something that I always found interesting in product decisions. Now, the majority of people are either going to be using this as a gaming headset, so obviously they're going to either keep this on all the time, or they're not going to use this at all because they don't have voice chat. And I understand the use, but things like this to me get lost sometimes, so I always like it when there's something else built into the actual headset itself. Maybe a built-in microphone, so you don't need to actually carry this all the time. But think about it this way. If you're carrying this around and you have to carry this separately, it's just another thing to get lost. Again, it's a personal preference of mine. If you're using this at home, this is meaningless to you because you'll either just plug this in the entire time and just use it, and there you go. Having a removable mic also means that because there's not a built-in one, you can actually change this out for a different one if you want. I mean, that's the actual beauty of the flexibility. And I think this is a 2.5 millimeter jack. So if you wanted one, you just have to have a 2.5 millimeter microphone jack. And actually, that actually gives a little bit of flexibility to you. So if you actually wanted a lapel mic, you could theoretically do that with these as well. And I'm sure the majority of people will just plug this in, keep it in there, put it on, and just be like this, okay, I'm ready to go gaming. I mean, that's it. That's all you really need to do. And again, one of the most important parts about a gaming headset, not only the audio quality has to be good, and I mean good. I don't mean excellent, top quality, studio style stuff. I mean good enough. The important part about a gaming headset to me is the comfort is paramount. And if you don't believe me, try gaming on a crappy headset for an hour or so. Then multiply that by 4. Let's just say you're at a LAN party or something, if they even have those anymore. Or, a hardcore gaming session, you're out there for 4 hours. Tell me you're going to have a crappy headset for 4 hours. Just tell me that. Post a comment below. I'm waiting to hear from you. I can tell you from personal experience, if you have an uncomfortable headset, you're going to be fidgeting the entire time, you're going to be moving it, you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be putting it on your head and stuff. You don't want that during a gaming session. You just want a game. You don't want anything to take away from that. So remember, when you're looking at a gaming headset, comfort paramount. So now you've found your comfort level on the headset that you want. You have to be concerned about the quality of the sound, because let's face it, these are audio devices, you want them to sound good. Comparing this to previous headsets and some other companies' headsets that I have, it's actually really interesting because I didn't think you can get, I'm more of an incremental person, and I'm not an audiophile, so, I have pretty sensitive hearing. I don't like listening to loud things all the time, so I can detect pretty well on minute changes and stuff. To me, the drivers in this seem to be a lot more heavy on the bass level. Like when I put these on and I start to play music that has a lot of bass, I can hear the bass a lot more. And bass to me does not need to be felt per se, it needs to be heard. Yes, bass means that you're going to feel a lot more vibration because the frequency is lower, but bass to me means that it's not just rumbling your head, it means that you want to hear that music. And I can hear the bass with this. On other headsets, I felt a little rumble and I heard it, but this one seems to be more tuned. And again, this could be subjective, I could be nuts and I could be crazy, but something about this seems a lot more tuned than the previous headsets that I've tested. Since I have sensitive hearing, I appreciate that the actual volume controls are actually built into the cable that I have to use anyway. Because there's plenty of times where I'm trying to fumble around my phone trying to lower the actual volume when a song comes on that's really loud or so. This one, I can just do it, put the volume down real quick, be good to go. The other thing that I do like about this is that the mute is on here as well. So if I'm on a call, for instance, or I'm voice chatting, I can actually hard mute this without worrying about soft muting it. Because there's a lot of times where you'll mute something on your phone and you might have double pressed the button and you could be caught saying something that you probably didn't want anybody to hear. So it's really nice to know that you've actually muted this in a hardware way with an actual switch. So be careful with those mute buttons, everybody. They could bite you in the end. I've went all around this product, explained the benefits, I've explained some of the things that I have some questions about. One of the things that I can tell you about these types of products is that they are generally very subjective. What I think is good, you might not think is good at all. That being said, I can tell you that this as an evolutionary product in the cloud line is good. They actually done some improvements, and I was weary about actually reviewing this entirely because I didn't think it was going to be as different than the Cloud 2 because basically it looks exactly the same. However, they actually put some thought and some design changes into here that actually make it a worthwhile upgrade. But we still have to go into the audio testing. And like I said, that this is a gaming headset #1. I've gamed with this plenty of times. If you look at my personal channel, you can see me playing Stellaris with these on. It's way better to actually have these on than playing in a stereo environment where the thing is just blasting. You actually hear a lot more detail sound when these are closer to your ears. Think of it this way. If you have a 5.1 setup, that's great. But if you need to know the differentiation between left and right, sometimes it gets lost in the actual environment when you have stereo speakers just blasting all around. This one literally separates your left ear from your right ear. So you can actually gauge what's coming from your left side and what's coming from your right side. And in gaming, that's really important, so think about that for a little bit. We are going to do a microphone test, and I'm going to do that in 1 second, so we'll reset, and I'll give you a little audio hint. 3, 2, 1. Now it's time for the microphone test, and this is a pretty standard test that I do on all these reviews to give you an example of how the quality of the microphone is. So, let's do 3, 2, 1. Now you should hear me on the actual microphone, and if I move it around a little bit, you can probably hear that you don't want to talk that loud. I'll show you what happens when you start talking really loudly. Basically, remember this is sort of a noise canceling microphone. The louder you go, you're going to hit the upper bounds of what the microphone can actually handle. So let me bring it a little further away from my face. So if I actually speak a lot more loudly, you'll hear that it starts to hit that upper bounds. So remember, the purpose of this is not to be stereo microphone. It's for voice chat and stuff like that. That being said, the microphone quality is good enough for what you want to do. Again, it's not supposed to be a studio mic, so remember the use case. For voice chat, cell phone calls, all that stuff, it works just fine. Just remember, you don't have to speak so loudly when the microphone is actually very close to your face. It's vastly different when I'm talking to a camera that's a bunch of feet away from me. So by lowering my voice and remembering that the microphone is really close to my face, I understand that I don't have to talk so loud, and it should be very clear. So the next time you're actually gaming with someone that sounds like they have the microphone literally stuck in their mouth or like up to here where their nose is at, I don't understand that at all. Like, if your microphone is right near your nose and I can hear you breathing, what are you doing? Get the microphone away from your face. It doesn't have to be that close for it to pick anything up. This is the one thing I mean, there's plenty of things I don't understand, but let's just go for this one. Why do you have the microphone so close to your mouth? Why do you have the microphone so close to your nose? I don't want to hear you breathing when we're actually playing a game. Get it away from your mouth and nose. And you don't have to speak so loud. Come on, people. You gotta make gaming great again. So now that I've demonstrated the microphone quality, let's go into the sound quality. And again, this section is really subjective. There's no question about that. Even the microphone quality is subjective. I've listened to music that has highs and lows. I've played games with this. To me, it sounds better than the Cloud 2, pretty much in line with the Cloud Revolver, with the high-end one. I mean, honestly, again, I'm not an audiophile. I can hear pretty well, so I'm not going to say that I can't hear differences. I can hear differences. The bass seems to be a lot better on these than the Cloud 2, for instance. Again, I'm not an audiophile, so I can't be like, oh, you know, I'm telling you the highs and lows are, you know, X, Y, Z, but I can tell you that it sounds good. On the music sounds good. I can hear bass, I can hear treble. Games, I can hear the differentiation between left and right channels, which is always important for video games. And honestly, they're just a good feeling pair of headphones. Microphone is fine. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, but it doesn't have to. It's for voice chat. It's for cell phone calls. It gets the job done. The real quality part is in the audio quality of the actual sound you're listening to. And to me, I think they're pretty damn good. I'm also going to mention something else I like about the headset. And this is really subjective, so if you don't want to hear anything subjective, just close your ears for about 20 seconds. The color scheme of HyperX is my favorite. My two favorite colors are red and black. So anything that's red and black is something that I just like just because it's my two favorite colors. Red is my favorite color, black is my second favorite color. So if you look at this headset, what do you think I think about the look of it? I think it looks great. There's nothing more to be said about that. Cloud Alpha Pro gaming headset retails for about $100 right now. It's a good price in my opinion. Now remember, if you have things like the Cloud 2, the Cloud Revolver, probably want to wait till the next generation of this comes out because honestly those are really good headsets already. I don't think you need to rebuy them. If you're in the market for a new headset, $100 really can't go wrong with something like this. It sounds great, fits well, gets the job done for what it's intended for. To sum this up, for $100, I think it's a good purchase. Again, if you already have a quality gaming headset, I'm not telling you to run out and buy this one. This is for those new entries, right? Or you have some piece of crap headset that you want to get rid of. Think about it this way. You should only have to buy things like this every once in a while. So if you invest in a quality pair of headphones, headset, it's going to last you a really long time. I have the ones I reviewed, and they've lasted for years already. So if you have those already, fine, don't replace them. But if you want to replace them or you're in the market for a brand new pair, give these a look. If you go to a store that has them so you can actually try them out, see how they fit on your head, that's even better because anything that touches your body, a lot of it is very subjective on the fit and feel, and you should be able to actually try them before you buy them if you can. Again, I think the way they articulate and everything, they should pretty much fit the majority of people's heads. Unless you have some weirdly shaped head. But in that case, you really want to try before you buy. ASE Labs and ASE Publishing would like to thank HyperX for sending this product for review. Again, you can check out links in the description below and on ASE Labs to purchase this product from Amazon right now. For ASE Labs and ASE Publishing, I'm Aaron Schatz, and thank you for watching. Remember, we only post video reviews, so if you hit the subscribe button right down here, it's in red, it's big, it says subscribe, you can be informed of all the reviews as we post them. And again, I will recap this for you. Let me adjust this mic even though I'm not using it. If you don't have time to watch our full reviews, and I understand that they are quite long, we like to do in-depth reviews. If you don't have time, you're thinking to yourself, well, I still want to get a gist of what's going on. There are 1-minute reviews on almost every product we review. If we can't do a 1-minute review, we won't because we just can't fit in the information. But most of them we can. So remember, if you go to our channel, you hit 1-minute reviews, there's a list of 1-minute reviews. And generally, on the start of every large review, we'll have like a pop-up thingy, or like right up here or up here. I don't remember which side. I think it's the right side. It says, oh, 1-minute review. Boom, you hit that, you get the 1-minute review. Let's just say that you can't even watch a video. You hit the description below, there is a link in there to ASE Labs with a text summary. You could send that text summary around and be like, hey Jim, hey Bob, hey Nancy, check out this little review. Then you can actually watch the actual 1-minute review and the video review fully and be in the know. And that's what you want. And that's what we're trying to provide. We want you to be well-informed consumers. So I hope you enjoyed this review. So remember, everybody, thanks for watching. And remember to share this with your friends. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.